Hey, it's Jay. I forgot to record an intro, so here's a funny cat while I preface the contents of this video. This is going to be my first resin project using a mold. I previously painted resin over a pair of butterfly wings to make earrings, which came out super cool, but I didn't use a mold, so this is a new experiment and I hope you enjoy. Here are some rocks that I took from Cape Cod, and here's a silicone mold that makes a little box with a lid. And I've cut out a piece of paper just to kind of gauge the dimensions of what I can be putting in here. And I want to do a little Cape Cod beach house inspired trinket box. Using that little stencil that told me the depth of the container, I started to make these little houses. I'm going for that Cape Cod aesthetic. I use this tool to put details into the clay so that when I go to paint it's a little bit easier because I've already kind of defined where everything is. So here I am individualizing the houses. I gave them a little roof line, which, just like thinking about the colors, it's probably going to be pastels on the buildings with like white trim, and we'll see where it goes from there. So these are my finished props. Houses, lighthouse, two different clouds with kind of a different texture, so I'll see how those dry. And then a little seagull for the lid. I'm gonna return to these when they're dry and paint them. I already painted my other props. The little row of houses came out pretty good. Cloud still looks like a fried egg. And I really like the seagull, he's so cute. My lighthouse, the first lighthouse I made broke, so I made this new one, and now I'm gonna go in and just finish painting it. This is a 2-part resin, 1 part of this to 1 part of this, mix for I believe 3 minutes, and eventually I'm starting to see a couple of bubbles come up, and those you want to be conscious of when working because the bubbles will dry like that in your final piece. I forgot to mention, the container you mix your resin in should be one that you're willing to throw out. Don't mix it in your favorite coffee mug or something. You're never gonna get it back because whatever residue of this dries, it's super hard to get out. What I wanted to talk about the lid and the box in general is, what's interesting is you kind of have to work inverted because this is the top of the box. This is the base. So when I'm filling it, I have to think I'm building the scene from the sky to the water. And so kind of the same way, I'm building it from the highest point to the lowest. So when I put my seagull and my cloud in, I'm going to put them in upside down so that when the lid comes out of the mold, stuff is oriented correctly. Moving forward, I'm still waiting for this to dry. There's still quite a few bubbles. I tried to work them out with my toothpick tool, but I don't know. I've put a little bit of resin in here, you can kind of see it, and then I'm gonna start literally just dropping the props into this. I put the lighthouse in. It's cloudy, but you can see it through this mold, and then the row of houses. My new addition to the project is grass and these flowers off of a plant I bought from the flea market. So I have the building and the lighthouse opposite, and then I'm gonna have the 2 different plant scenes opposite. I dropped the rest of the props in. I'm now going to make the water. Mixing the resin and the alcohol ink. I put a little too much to start and I just added more of each part of the resin. And honestly, I think it's super pretty, so I'm excited to see how this is gonna turn out. Oh, that's gorgeous. I'm hoping that it won't mix with the blue resin because I really didn't think about that all too much. But I also didn't want to wait for the clear resin to dry. The things that inspired this video, I'm going to add all these rocks from Cape Cod. I took the box out of the mold. This is the final product. I think it came out so cute. It didn't go exactly as planned. You can see where the blue resin dripped into the clear one because I had to pour this upside down, so I'd already put this clear and then I didn't wait long enough, so kind of looks like some little mermaid mushroom clouds coming out of the ocean, but I think it came out so cute. The flowers, not very apparent. That was also in part because of the blue resin. I think the lighthouse is adorable. The rocks on the bottom make for such a cool base. It looks like looking into the ocean. And then the lid's my favorite part. Like, tell me that seagull isn't adorable. I love it. Anyways, this was kind of just a test, but I am not disappointed with the final product. I think it's so cute. And then I guess one more thing I would mention is there's a lot of bubbles in the lid. This one is pretty significant. Like I can put my whole fingernail into the lid at that point. There's another one here. So next time I would just force the resin into the corners of the lid's mold better. And then there's some rough edges here. I think the resin says it cures 95% in the first 24 hours and 100% after 72. So next time I'm going to wait a little longer to take it out because it was still slightly flexible. But that's the final product. I didn't record an outro either, so here's my thumbnail, but thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please come back. I'm going to try to do more projects like this soon. Thank you. Bye.